I just bought this truck for $3,800 and all I had to do was negotiate. Seems like a simple enough thing to do, and was honestly something I thought most people try to get better at. But recently, I've come to the realization that no, people don't practice it. People don't try to get better at it at all. People tell me all the time that negotiating makes them feel uncomfortable, right? Nervous, or even downright sleazy. I've had people tell me they think it's wrong of me to have paid so little for something clearly worth more. And the most common thing I hear when talking about negotiating is people saying that they just aren't any good at it, so they don't try to negotiate. So now I gotta ask, how do you feel about negotiating? Do you look down on those who negotiate, or do you simply just avoid it at all costs? Right? It's the thing that I think most people can try to get better at, so let's get into it. What is your opinion on negotiating, and how does it make you feel, right? Over the years and recently, I've had people tell me they hate offering someone less money for a product or service than what is being asked. I can see how the confrontational nature of a negotiation can make people feel uncomfortable, especially when it revolves around a topic like money. Money already makes people feel uncomfortable, so it makes sense. It's almost as if the act of offering someone a lower price could somehow devolve into something more hostile than what a negotiation really is. And that's a conversation. Negotiations are nothing but a discussion between two parties trying to achieve the same goal, the same thing, right? And that is a sale to happen, right? They want to make a sale happen. If you're anything like me, it's one of the most crucial steps taken when purchasing anything of significant value, right? I negotiate to put myself in the best possible position to make money later on, to minimize potential losses, and lastly, to make myself feel good, right? About getting the most money, or the most value for my money, the most bang for my buck. Negotiating is not an easy skill to learn, right? But getting over any negative feelings you have towards it is a great first step in trying to get better at it. And yes, it will be hard, but the money was already hard to earn, so why not make it a little hard to spend too? You know, just kind of makes sense. Now, on the other hand, is it wrong, and I'll slow it down a bit here, is it wrong to negotiate a deal that is almost too good? Some may call me sleazy for some of the deals I've been able to negotiate for myself, like this truck. Did I get it for too good of a deal? Did I take advantage of the person I bought it from? It's almost as if I've gotten one over on someone, or like I've gotten away with something, right? But let's take a look at it from a completely different perspective, right? Because although I have a strong feeling that this was indeed a terrific purchase, the following is what could still take place. The engine could malfunction, right? Could sling a rod, could do whatever. The transmission could malfunction, right? Could start slipping. Heck, they could both malfunction. This truck could have had a different odometer put into it. Could have had the mileage rolled back, meaning the car is in worse condition than what is described, right? More wear and tear, and it's just not the value that I had originally placed on the truck. If any of these things were to happen to me, I would be stuck footing the bill for those costly repairs, right? Or be forced to cut my losses and sell the truck as inoperative, which sucks. Would it still be wrong at that point that I was able to talk him down to such a number? Or did I now get exactly what I paid for, which is a heaping pile of junk? Do you see what I mean? Would you then think the seller is a sleazy one, having sold me a truck that blew up a few days later? Possibly. If the seller knowingly sold me a bad truck, then yes, possible. But then what, right? Good luck trying to take the truck back and get your money. It's not going to happen. Regardless, I like to give people the benefit of the doubt, and honestly, oftentimes, there's no way of knowing if someone is buying or selling, for that matter, something that is but a few hours of catastrophic failure, because things break. That's just a fact, right? That's a part of life. Things just break, and no one can really ever truly know when that is going to or not going to happen. Practice makes perfect, right? Your first time might be scary, uncomfortable, and just a complete and total failure. But don't worry about it, right? That's how it goes. I can't tell you how many times I completely failed at negotiating, right? And I either had to pay full price or make the drive of shame all the way home, however far I had come, with no purchase. But slowly, over time, I was able to get better at negotiating. Mainly, I became more and more confident when bringing up my concerns during my review of the vehicle or product or consideration of the service. And when it finally came time to provide an offer, I was no longer shaky or unsure about my delivery, right? Okay, don't worry. This is not a video on getting good at negotiating, so I won't get too deep on how to do so. But like everything else in life, if you don't practice, how can you ever expect to get good? It's just not going to happen, right? Practice may not always make perfect, but it can, more often than not, make mediocrity, which is more than nothing. So to conclude this little spotlight on the important skill that is negotiating, a little itty-bitty recap, right? Negotiations are an incredibly important skill to learn. that can save and possibly make you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. If you're savage, maybe millions, but at this point, you don't need to hear this little thing, right? What does the thought of it make you feel, right? Excited to get better? Are you excited to do your next negotiation, try to get better? Or are you dreading your next purchase because that's always your least favorite part, right? And because the act of negotiating can occasionally involve a lowball offer every now and then, people may look down on you and express their disapproval. But remember, looking at every purchase objectively from both sides, there are always tons of unknowns. So trying to secure a less risky position on any purchase is a wise move, no matter what anyone may think or say. So do you, and if in your first few attempts you do not succeed, keep trying, and slowly but surely you will get better. Whether you like doing it or not, negotiations are a part of life that can either help you get ahead or, set you back full price. Do you get it?